dal distretto tecnologico aerospaziale. Now is the moment of illustrated the project in the city of Bari about the House of Technology. And I call to come here, I ask to come here Michele Ruta, full professor of Politecnico di Bari. Prego.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michele Ruta. I'm the scientific coordinator of the project Casa delle Tecnologie Emergenti, also named Bari Open Innovation Hub. It is a project founded by the former Ministry of the Economic Development in Italy, which has a duration of 48 months, and which has been started in April 2021 with a funding of 6.4 million euros. And the project is basically located in 3 areas here in Bari. The first one is in the industrial district of the city. The second one is in the center of the city in Porta Futuro. And the third one is here in the Pavilion 169, near to this stand, near to the monumental fountain, where we have the control room of the main experiments carried out here in the Fiera del Levante. Basically, the project is oriented to have a test of a main intelligence solution in the field of mobility. And in particular, the overall experiments are carried out under the coverage of 5G connectivity operated by the partner team. But also we have a deep infrastructure all around the experimentation area with several IoT devices, such as, for example, smart traffic lights, but also smart lighting, but also sensor hubs, recalling and retrieving data from the field in order to obtain a context annotation to be adopted for further inferences. Furthermore, we have also the experimentation of an autonomous vehicle classified in the, by exploiting the classification of the Society of Automotive Engineers at level 4, with a specific path here all around the monumental fountain, and to be adopted and exploited in combination with drones and pedestrian mobility. Basically, we have also the final part of the project oriented to the experimentation of drones, along with the DTA and ENAC as partners, for purposes tied to the territory surveillance, the monitoring of roads and the infrastructures, but also for an advanced logistics for the so-called Logistics 4.0. This is the area of the experiments here in the Fiera del Levante. And basically, you can see that the experimentation area is similar to a small portion of a smart city. And the general idea is that in a smart city, in the near future, these technologies could work together. This is the path for the autonomous vehicle we have adopted. In particular, the path is moving, coming from the main entrance of the fair and moving all around the fountain and the pavilion where is located the control room for the project. This is the Navia shuttle bus we have adopted for the experimentation. Basically, it is a bus, an electrical bus, with a capability of hosting up to 50 people and equipped with several sensors and micro devices in order to have a complete 5G connectivity and vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-infrastructure connectivity for advanced purposes. In general, this experimentation are just started, but we plan to extend the experimentation for a complex intermodality with the exploitation also of drones. With respect to the classic mobility, and in particular the mobility tied to classic vehicles, for example, we have developed an application able to extract and gather data from the normal vehicles, from cars, for example, by exploiting the OBT version 2 protocol now adopted for diagnostics, for example. And this data are combined with micro devices from data extracted by micro devices integrated within the smartphone, for example, accelerometers, also, this data are combined with external services, for example, web-based services or vehicle-to-infrastructure, vehicle-to-vehicle services. The raw data extracted in this way are combined, and they are provided to data fusion algorithms in order to obtain an annotation, an high-level metadata associated to raw data, able to perform novel inferences, novel deductions about the environment, about what is happening at the ground level. And finally, this inference is able to provide a decision, to provide a support to the user, for example, driver, in order to avoid risks. But also, these inferences are able to provide information for decisors and then for avoiding a deep environmental impact, for example, in terms of pollution, just to set an example. This is also the application we are planning to develop for the pedestrian mobility. Also, in this case, we adopt the smartphone of the user in order to perform a monitoring of the pedestrian mobility by exploiting the internal micro devices of the smartphone of the user. And the flows extracted from the users in an anonymous fashion are aggregated by exploiting data mining techniques, and they are adopted for obtaining mobility patterns. And mobility patterns are combined with commercial information, for example, but also for public administration services and for, in general, public or private high-level events or services. For what concerns the part of the project devoted to drones, basically we have envisioned several missions, several tasks, several jobs with single drones or with multi-drones with several applications oriented basically to the monitoring of territory, the control of infrastructures, for example, or oriented to logistics 4.0, advanced logistics, especially in case of the combination between the drone and the autonomous vehicle moving all around the smart city, the smart city of the future. And in particular, the multimodal mobility is oriented to solve problem we have, some issues we have nowadays, so just for example, the delivery in case of emergencies, but also delivery in case of critical conditions, for example. Here we have the missions envisioned within the project. The first one is a mission with a single drone for purposes tied to the monitoring of the road surface. We have that within the area of experiments, we have located the takeoff and landing area, but also the ground station and the vertiport. The second mission, the second task, is related to a single drone for monitoring pollution, for the environmental monitoring. And also, in this case, we have that the communication, we have the coverage, we have provided coverage of 5G connectivity up to 100 meters, starting from the ground level. the coverage under 5G is, let's say, the main and the most important and relevant approach to grant the coverage of the flow of data starting from the drones and arriving to the ground stations. The third overflight mission is performed by exploiting a multi-drone, and this is the example of a multi-platform approach where we have several drones interacting among them. Also in this case, we have that the test area have been extended, covering all the space of the Fiera del Levante on Fiera del Levante. The fourth mission is a radio bridge mission for experimenting approach with remote control. In this case, we have a radio bridge located outside the area of experiments and the overflight area. And we have that the virtual pilot is located within the pavilion 169, where we have the control room of Casa delle Tecnologie Emergenti. And on the contrary, the mission has the purpose to perform a delivery in a given area. So the fifth mission is a delivery with a landing, in this case, in an external area. And in this case, the area for landing is located outside the area of overflight for the drone. Also, in this case, we have a locking point for the payload, and then the drone has the purpose to lock the payload and to deliver it in an external location. It is important for, from our standpoint, the case study related to the multimodal delivery, because in this case we have a novel experimentation, not already carried out anyway, because we have that in case of Fiera del Levante, we can experiment the possibility of a delivery involving also a maritime area, along with the terrestrial one, along with the overflight area where the drone is moving. In this case, we can also have novel insight about the possibility of an autonomous transport involving goods, but also people, with the specific purpose of optimizing costs and times of transportation. But also we can perform an integrated managing of traffic by exploiting both pedestrian mobility, but also aerial mobility, and obviously the terrestrial mobility. And the final goal could be, for example, the decrease of the pollution. And in this case, we can approach novel urban mobility paradigms. In this sense, we have developed the sixth mission, which is a multimodal delivery, where we have that the drone is adopted to connect a ship located in the maritime area in front of the main entrance of the fair, of the Fiera del Levante, and the bus, the autonomous shuttle, the Navia shuttle, said before, in order to obtain a connection, a direct connection between two different means in two different areas. Okay, that's all on my side. Here my contacts. I'm really available for collaboration and for any clarification you need. Thank you very much for your attention.